Hello. Today's episode number 41 of the Professor Slots podcast discusses Wendover payout returns over 100% on $25 denomination slot machines. Plus, in this episode, I'll be covering the current state of slot machine casino gambling in the great U.S. states of Colorado and Connecticut. Thank you for joining me for the Professor Slots podcast show. I'm John Friedel, and this is a podcast about slot machine casino gambling. It is where I provide knowledge, insights, and tools for helping you improve your slot machine gambling performance.
John Friedel from the Professor Slots blog reveals all his tips and tricks for thriving in the casino environment. Choose winning slot machines and identify your gambling goals. Being entertained, earning comps, winning take-home cash, or combining them. John has won 90 taxable jackpots and a luxury car in 9 months of slot play and made a profit at slots gambling since 2013.
In case you missed it, on my last episode, I went over the risk factors from the annual financial report of slot manufacturer Scientific Games Corporation. Also last episode, I reviewed Arkansas and California slot machine casino gambling 2018. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Let's get started with the first segment of the show, West Wendover, Nevada payout returns. I recently got a question about playing slots in Wendover, Nevada. When I reviewed monthly statistics at the Nevada Gaming Commission website, I discovered a quite interesting situation. This question and answer session is about Wendover high payout returns on $25 denomination slot machines. This segment has the following subsections. 1. An introduction. 2. Lyle's question. 3. Wendover, Nevada. 4. West Wendover payout returns. 5. West Wendover high payout returns for $25 slots. 6. My advantage play analysis for $25 slots in Wendover. 7. Audience Q&A. And 8. A summary. At the end of October 2018, not long ago, an audience member I hadn't heard from before named Lyle emailed asking for advice on playing slots. Specifically, he mentioned he'd gotten free airfare and lodging for a 3-day trip to Wendover. That's it. That's the sum total of Lyle's question. From it, besides the obvious facts, I understood something important I'd better consider when answering Lyle's question. Specifically, he gets free trips. To get such complimentary gifts, he'd have to gamble enough to earn them. This assumption doesn't necessarily mean Lyle is a high-limit gambler, but it does mean he'd have to certainly be a frequent enough gambler to earn such a travel comp. So my assumptions let me determine a reasonable set of search parameters I'd need to use when answering his question, including 1. Plays slots a lot. 2. High-limit slot machines are not ruled out. And 3. Relatively short stay in Wendover, Nevada. With this information in hand, I proceeded to provide what advice I could for Lyle, as requested. On the western border of Nevada lies the city of Wendover. Actually, it's 2 cities in one, fairly evenly split down the middle by the Nevada-Utah border. On the Nevada side is West Wendover. On the other side of the border, in Utah, is Wendover. West Wendover, Nevada has the casinos and other amenities such as a golf course. This includes the Wendover Nugget Hotel and Casino, located less than 50 feet from the Nevada-Utah state line. Wendover, Utah has more than a few restaurants and hotels. It is also home to Wendover Airport, code ENV, a county-owned public-use airport, formerly Wendover Air Force Base up until 1976. West Wendover has a 2012 estimated population of 6,700 residents and is part of Elko County in Nevada. Which county it is part of will be needed later when I discuss state gaming statistics. Wendover, Utah has less than half the population of West Wendover, Nevada. It had a 2008 estimated population of 1,632 residents. In my prior state review of Nevada slots at professorslots.com/NV, I'd made mention of the city of West Wendover in Elko County. It is located 363 miles north of Las Vegas and, at last report, had 5 casinos. These 5 casinos are 1. Montego Bay Casino Resort, 2. Peppermill Inn and Casino, 3. Rainbow Hotel Casino, 4. Red Garter Hotel and Casino, and 5. Wendover Nugget Hotel and Casino. These 5 casinos are commercial, that is to say non-tribal casinos. However, Montego Bay, Peppermill, and Rainbow are all owned by the same corporation. Red Garter and Wendover Nugget are owned by a second corporation. Further, West Wendover was also mentioned in my state review of Utah slots at professorslots.com/UT. While effectively all gambling is illegal in Utah, West Wendover is relatively nearby to many residents of Utah. In fact, West Wendover is only 123 miles directly west of Salt Lake City. In my response to Lyle's question, I started off by providing website links for the West Wendover casinos. But what else could I provide? For those who have been to my blog, you may have come across my main website article on assessing casinos for success. A link to this article can be found in the show notes for this episode at professorslots.com/E41. In that segment, I discuss using online resources to better understand what a casino has to offer from a distance. That is to say, prior to preparing an on-site physical assessment. I've never been to Wendover on the eastern border of Nevada. I learned what I could, what I suggested we all do, by visiting the State Gaming Commission to look for any available gaming statistics. While every state is different, and some states don't offer any gaming statistics at all, the Nevada Gaming Commission does offer relatively comprehensive gaming review information. These actual payout return statistics are offered comprehensively, as mentioned. They are provided by 1. Month by month, 2. By city, by a portion of a county, and for the overall county, and 3. For each slot machine denomination. Do you want the payout return statistics for penny slots at the Las Vegas Strip casinos? It's there. How about quarter slots in downtown Las Vegas instead? Yes, those are also available. Similarly, detailed payout return statistics are provided throughout Nevada. When I answered Lyle's question by email in early November 2018, monthly statistics were only available through the end of August. At the time of this episode segment being released in late November 2018, statistics for September 2018 have been made available, but not yet those for the month of October. Using what information I had available at the time, this was the first 2 parts of my response to Lyle's question. 1. The Nevada Gaming Control Commission provides payout return statistics for the Wendover area casinos in Elko County. The most recent month available online is August 2018. You might want to look up on page 26 of their report. 2. What it provides there is what they call win percent for each slot machine denomination. Most people call that the casino hold percent. To get return percent, just subtract hold percent from 100%. Anyway, you want the best odds to win available, which is the smallest win percent. Those are on $5 slot machines at a win percent of 3.61%, followed closely by $1 slots at 3.77%. All this is straightforward enough information, which I was happy to provide. Low-limit slots players might prefer the best payout return statistics be for the lower denomination slot machines. But that's not what the actual data shows, and remember, Lyle might be interested in high-limit slots. The August 2018 gaming review information provided by all casinos to the State Gaming Commission shows $5 slot machines in the city of West Wendover had a payout return of 100% minus 3.61% for a return percentage of 96.39%. For the $1 slot machines in West Wendover in August of 2018, it was slightly less than 96.23%. But then I remembered Lyle earns free trips. Therefore, he might be interested in high-limit slots. So I took a look at those reported payout returns as well. And for high-limit slots for West Wendover in the gaming revenue report for August 2018, I saw something incredibly odd. For $25 denomination slot machines, the return percentage was over 100%. What? Another small but relevant piece of information that the Nevada Gaming Commission provides, along with all the other details, is this. It includes how many slot machines are included for each payout return statistics. This matters because page 26 of the August 2018 Gaming Review Information Report shows how many $25 slot machines existed each month in West Wendover, Nevada. Can you guess how such information might be useful? when the payout return statistics for $25 denomination slot machines in West Wendover sometimes exceeds 100%? Such information is useful as it might help us find that winning slot machine. To my email response to Lyle, I went back through the last 4 months of monthly payout returns from May through August 2018. For you, I have the most recently released September 2018 payout return information for $25 slots in West Wendover to add to that. These are the payout returns for those 5 months. For May, 95.56%. For June, 100.64%. For July, 102.27%. For August, 97.59%. And for the most recent of September 2018, 91.79%. Notice the payout returns for $25 slots dropped well below all other slot machine denominations for the most recent month of September. Next, let's talk about what that means. In September 2018, after at least 4 prior months of West Wendover high payout returns, the payout returns dropped from close to or over 100% to significantly lower than all other slot machine denominations. As an important aside, have I ever mentioned that advantage slots players exist? Have I also mentioned that when I'm not helping you, my personal gambling interest is to be such an advantage slots player? Whether I mentioned it previously or not, they do and I am. And as I have mentioned in conversations, but perhaps not on this podcast, I'm like the magician that tells the audience how the trick works. You know, the magician with the black mask that turns the stage around so you can see how his assistant crawled out of a small hole so they wouldn't be cut in two or whatever. That's me. Well, not the assistant being potentially cut in two, but the magician in the black mask. As only part of what I offer, I explain how slots tricks work. That is to say, what advantage plays for slots look like, how they are applied, and then how to go about optimizing them for you to get maximum profit. So when I say that all hope is not yet lost with regards to finding a winning $25 slot machine in one of the 5 casinos in West Wendover, consider the following scenario. 1. Other slots advantage players noticed the over 100% return for $25 slots in Wendover. Naturally, over time, they made their way to Wendover and took advantage of the situation. 2. Wendover casinos themselves saw the high payout returns for $25 slots. They also saw higher traffic from $25 slot machine players. And 3. Wendover casinos responded perhaps 2/3 of the way through August 2018 by reducing the odds of winning on $25 slot machines by nearly 10%. The scenario of this logic hinges on the fact that the odds of winning abruptly dropped by about 10% somewhat around mid-August 2018. In this way, the report payout returns didn't show a 1-month drop of 10%, but rather a 10% drop over 2 months of reporting. A 10% drop strikes me as being too much of a change in odds to be entirely random. From the highest ever seen to the lowest ever seen? From the highest latest for months and the lowest was due to an abrupt change? No, that just doesn't seem random to me. As I know I have mentioned again and again in my blog articles, many casinos have their own control over their slot machines. This isn't true for video lottery terminals controlled by the state lottery, but Nevada isn't set up like that. Some other states are, but not Nevada. So, in Nevada, casinos can adjust the odds of winning on their slot machines however they like, as long as they stay within the legal limits. And the lower legal limit for payout returns in Nevada is 75%. Not that it's a good business idea to set them that low. However, doing so would indeed be legal. So what should we do? What's our next step? If the last month's payout return statistics still showed a high payout return, I'd advise traveling to Wendover and risk spending some disposable income on their available $25 slot machines. If I was there, I'd certainly also physically assess the casinos as I've suggested elsewhere. This is what I advised Lyle to consider, using the available information at the time. But what now that the payout return statistic for September was so low? Well, as usual under these circumstances, more research and thought is needed. In my opinion, next steps are to examine the payout returns for $25 slots in Wendover over last summer, in May through August 2017. Is there a pattern? Were the payout returns high then as well? Are high payout returns on $25 slots a Nevada summer thing? Otherwise, you might consider that the very low September 2018 payout returns were a statistical fluctuation for that month only. Statistics are, as is taught academically, not at all a prediction of future behavior. I think that would be risky, however. I'd currently advise waiting a few weeks to see what the October 2018 payout returns are. If they jump back up to over 100%, then I'd consider risking some bankroll in the hope that November 2018 statistics would be over 100% again. There is one final analysis point I'd like to make. Basically, there are only 25 to 26 slot machines in West Wendover that have a $25 denomination available. This excludes multi-denominational slot machines, which include a $25 option, as they are reported on an entirely different entry in the gaming review reports. So with only around 25 slot machines at 4 different locations, per the gaming review reports, maybe these high payout returns over several months were the result of a single, individual, $25 slot machine that had great odds of winning. Its odds of winning would have had to have been so high that by itself it raised the odds on all the other $25 slot machines to be in total over 100% for months at a time. Or maybe it was a group of $25 slot machines. Statistically, it is possible, although somewhat unlikely, that it could have been a single win for each of those months. A single huge win each of those months to bring it over 100% for all slot machines with a $25 denomination. What's the advantage play under this scenario? Well, that's easy. Go to the Wendover casinos, find your $25 slot machines, and ask around. Surely somebody there remembers all that excitement, yes? If they do, and you can find the winning slot machine, then you only have one thing left to do. Get time on that machine when nobody else is using it. If you can, which is not likely with all the slots advantage players out there, remember to have a partner such as your spouse or someone you trust. Why? Because you'll want to play in shifts for as long as physically possible. Good luck. If you're interested in asking a question, which might end up as a blog article on my website or as a podcast episode such as this, the best way to reach me by email is john@professorslots.com, where John is spelled Jon, or by calling 937-696-0086 to leave a 3-minute or less voicemail. Both of those contact pieces of information are at the footer of my professorslots.com website. If you send an email, I do my best to respond within 24 hours. If you leave a voicemail, you'll probably have to watch my blog or listen to the podcast if you want your answer. Unless, of course, you leave some form of contact information in your voicemail, which I will remove so nobody else has it. In any case, I look forward to answering more of your excellent questions as time goes by. Oh, and thanks for the question, Lyle. You still need to call in a casino trip report for your trip to Wendover of a few weeks ago. We'd all appreciate hearing how it went. In summary, Lyle asked an email question a few weeks ago which led to discovering Wendover high payout returns. West Wendover is a city on the state line between Nevada and Utah. For $25 slot machines in Wendover, payout returns over 100% existed for several summer months in 2018. Lyle had emailed that he had a complimentary gift of airfare and lodging in early November 2018 for a 3-day trip to Wendover. Before making the trip, he asked for advice about playing slots there. I performed an online analysis of Wendover casinos, provided the requested advice to Lyle, and then turned that analysis into this podcast segment for you. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second segment of the show on slot machine casino gambling. Here, I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in 2 U.S. states, territories, or the federal district, emphasizing, by far, anything of interest to slot machine casino gamblers. Up first is Colorado Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. Colorado slot machine casino gambling consists of traditional slots available in 35 casinos in the 3 historic mountain towns of Black Hawk, Central City, and Cripple Creek, as well as 2 American Indian tribal casinos. The 2 national historic districts are Black Hawk/Central City and Cripple Creek. These towns are where gambling was initially legalized in 1991 with the hope that gaming would revive and protect them. The two American Indian tribal casinos are located in Ignacio, which is 330 miles southwest of Denver, near the Arizona border, and Towawak, 83 miles west of Ignacio, near the southwest corner of Colorado. The minimum gambling age in Colorado depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For the bingo, lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 18. Gambling was legalized in 1991 within the mountain towns of Black Hawk, Central City, and Cripple Creek. At the time, the maximum bet limit was $5. In 2008, Colorado voters approved raising this maximum bet to $100. The tribal casinos are open 24 hours, but casinos in the mountain towns are closed after 2 a.m. All casinos follow identical state gaming laws. The restriction of non-tribal casinos being closed from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. is a feature of Colorado's gambling laws, specifically limited gaming or limited stakes. This legal restriction includes limiting maximum wagers to $100. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In Colorado, it is legal to privately own a slot machine manufactured prior to 1984. Colorado's gaming regulations are provided by the Colorado Division of Gaming, located within its Department of Revenue's Enforcement Division. Each month, the division provides actual payout return statistics, including statewide, non-tribal casinos, as well as specifically for each of the 3 historic mountain towns. These actual payout return statistics are offered as hold percentages, where payout return percentages is 100% minus hold percent. In other words, these payout reports provide the percentage made by the casino operator rather than the percentage retained by the player, so will need to be converted. Gaming at the 2 tribal casinos in Colorado is regulated by negotiated tribal-state compacts. However, except for being allowed to be open 24 hours and not providing actual payout return statistics, these gaming regulations appear to be identical to the state gaming regulations put in place for casinos in the 3 historic mountain towns. In this next section, I discuss Colorado gambling establishments. There are 33 non-tribal casinos, 2 American Indian tribal casinos, and no non-tribal racinos in Colorado. The largest casino in Colorado is Ameristar Casino Resort in Black Hawk, having 1,513 gaming machines and 25 table games. The second largest casino in Colorado is Isle of Capri Hotel Casino in Black Hawk, having 1,080 gaming machines and 18 table games. As usual, when there are too many casinos to mention them each individually here, a complete list along with links to their websites, assuming they've set one up, is available on my website blog article for this state at professorslots.com/co. The non-tribal casinos are located in 3 historic mountain towns. Their location, number of casinos, and number of slot machines are as follows. The mountain town of Black Hawk is located 50 miles west of Denver. At last report, it had 15 casinos and 7,144 slot machines. The frontier town of Central City is located 4 miles west of Black Hawk. Also at last report, it had 6 casinos and 2,014 slot machines. Finally, the frontier town of Cripple Creek is located 112 miles south of Denver. It was reported to have 12 casinos and 3,531 slot machines. Given the nearness of the towns of Black Hawk and Central City, only 4 miles apart, there is a heated competition between these 2 towns for revenue since gambling was legalized in 1991. Travelers from Denver reach Black Hawk before passing through to reach Central City. As a result, the town of Black Hawk has had much more gambling revenue. In a 2009 article from the Denver Post, it was estimated Black Hawk had 3 times the casinos and 7 times the revenue when compared to Central City. However, Central City has been growing quickly lately due to shorter travel from Denver thanks to a new exit off the I-70 Interstate Highway at Idaho Springs, 8 miles away. Black Hawk can now be reached by first driving through Central City, or by driving the 50 miles from Denver on State Routes 6 and 119. Central City is more historic than the other 2 mountain towns. Black Hawk is much more a typical casino town, nearly reminiscent of Las Vegas. Cripple Creek feels like a bit of both. Colorado also has pari-mutuel wagering facilities, including off-track betting at former Greyhound racetracks, but none of these offer slot machines. These sites are run by Mile High Racing and Entertainment, which offers Arapahoe Park horse racing as well as 10 off-track betting locations across Colorado. The two American Indian tribal casinos located in southwest Colorado are Sky Ute Casino Resort in Ignacio, located 330 miles southwest of Denver, which is operated by the Southern Ute Indian Tribe and currently has over 500 slot machines. The Ute Mountain Casino RV Park and Travel Center in Towawak, located 400 miles southwest of Denver and 112 miles west of Ignacio, is operated by the Ute Mountain Tribe and currently has about 790 slot machines. As an alternative to enjoying Colorado slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Colorado is bordered by, to the north, Wyoming, to the northwest, Nebraska, to the east, Kansas, to the southeast, Oklahoma, to the south, New Mexico, to the west, Utah, and to the southwest, Arizona at Four Corners. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its two-letter designation. For example, my Wyoming slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/WY. Colorado's Division of Gaming is located within its Department of Revenue's Enforcement Division. It publishes gaming statistics on a monthly basis. These statistics are provided statewide and for the 3 mountain towns. However, the division is legally prohibited from releasing them for each individual casino. These gaming industry statistics are provided the next business day after the casinos file taxes on the 15th of each month, or on the 16th if the 15th is a holiday. In this subsection, I will review the monthly statistical report for June 2018. For this month, it shows hold percentages, which again are 100 minus payout return percentages. For June 2018, the overall statewide return percent was 92.55%. For Blackhawk, Central City, and Cripple Creek, they were, respectively, 92.31%, 92.16%, and 93.59%. In other words, for June 2018, Cripple Creek had the highest overall payout return percentage. On my website article for Colorado, I've provided the June 2018 actual statistics as made publicly available on the division's website. Once again, for your convenience, I've taken the liberty of converting the hold percent provided into the more usual payout return percent. You can find this table of payout return percentages at ProfessorSlots.com/CO. All other considerations aside, Cripple Creek's dime denomination slot machines had the best return of 117.14%. Yes, you heard that correctly. The actual payout returns for 10-cent slot machines in the town of Cripple Creek exceed 100% for the month of June 2018. The next best return in these June 2018 statistics were high-limit slot machines at 95.68% and quarter machines, both again at Cripple Creek. Payout return statistics from the 2 tribal casinos is not legally required, per their negotiated tribal state compacts. If you are interested in reviewing the details of their current compacts, both are available on the division's Tribal Casinos in Colorado webpage. In summary, Colorado slot machine casino gambling consists of 12,689 slot machines available at 33 casinos in Colorado's 3 historic mountain towns of Blackhawk, Central City, and Cripple Creek. Additionally, about 1,300 slot machines are available at the 2 tribal casinos located in southwest Colorado. Actual payout return statistics are provided on a monthly basis for the 3 historic towns, but none are legally required to be available for the American Indian tribal casinos per their negotiated tribal state compacts. Over the last year, Colorado slot machine casino gambling has been relatively stable, with 2 exceptions. First, last year Colorado had 40 casinos, while there are only currently 35 casinos. The second small exception is the change in traffic flow for the 2 mountain towns of Blackhawk and Central City. Previously, travelers from Denver would arrive at Blackhawk by taking State Routes 6 and 119 over about 50 miles. However, a new exit from Interstate 70 provides immediate access to first Central City and then the town of Blackhawk, 4 miles away. Such a significant change in traffic flow from Denver is suspected to eventually have an impact on relative gambling revenues for these 2 nearby towns. although a complete reversal of gambling revenues, if it occurs, may well take a few more years. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second state comprising this episode segment, Connecticut Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. Connecticut slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 2 American Indian tribal casinos, Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard and Mohegan Sun Casino in Ucasville. Foxwood consistently ranks as one of the top 10 largest casinos in the world. Another Connecticut casino is being planned to be built in East Windsor, intended as a satellite casino to, quote, blunt the competitive threat of a planned MGM casino and entertainment complex just across the border in Springfield, Massachusetts, expected to open in August 2018. In May 2018, a bill submitted to the Connecticut State Legislature for an MGM International Resorts Casino in Bridgeport was not approved after, quote, a monumental struggle and heavy lobbying. Expectations are that it will be submitted again for state approval in 2019. The minimum gambling age in Connecticut depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, the lottery, and pari-mutuel wagering, it's 18. Pari-mutuel wagering has had a long history in Connecticut, with many changes. While multiple dog and horse racetracks, as well as High Ally, were once available, the last of these closed in 2005. However, pari-mutuel wagering is still available at 16 off-track betting, that is to say OTB, facilities, including at Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. Besides these 2 tribal casinos, other OTB locations in Connecticut do not offer any electronic gaming machines such as slots. The Connecticut state government has a Division of Legalized Gambling website, as well as negotiated Connecticut tribal state compacts with its 2 federally recognized American Indian tribes. Connecticut's 2 federally recognized tribes are the Mascatucket Pequot tribe, operators of Foxwoods, and the Mohegan tribe, which operates the Mohegan Sun Casino. Both tribes are expected to operate a satellite casino planned for East Windsor together, off their mutual tribal reservations. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is illegal to privately own a slot machine in the state of Connecticut. State gaming commissions can be of several types, including a state lottery, charitable gaming, legalized gambling, and any legally required oversight divisions created due to the terms of any existing tribal state compacts. In the state of Connecticut, the previously existing State Lottery Control Board was transferred to the Connecticut Lottery Corporation in 1996. While pari-mutuel wagering is legal in Connecticut, there are currently no open dog and horse tracks or High Ally competitions. By the way, shout out to Mark Duvall from You Can Bet on That for being able to pronounce High Ally correctly. There is, however, over a dozen off-track betting facilities, including at both tribal casinos. These OTB locations, operated by Sport Tech PLC, are regulated by the state through its gaming division within the Department of Consumer Protection. This Gaming Control Board is also responsible for monitoring and ensuring compliance of the tribal state compacts. There are 2 tribal casinos in Connecticut. The largest casino in Connecticut is Foxwoods Casino Resort in Ledyard, officially having 4,733 gaming machines in June 2018. The second largest casino in Connecticut is currently its other casino, Mohegan Sun Casino in Ucasville, officially having 4,097 gaming machines in June 2018. If the MGM International Resorts in Bridgeport is approved, built, and opened, perhaps as early as 2022, it is expected to become the second largest casino in Connecticut. There are no non-tribal gambling establishments offering slot machine gambling currently available in Connecticut. The 2 tribal casinos in Connecticut are Foxwoods Resort Casino, located 50 miles southeast of Hartford and, alternatively, 60 miles southwest of Providence, Rhode Island. Also, Mohegan Sun Casino, located 17 miles west of Foxwoods Casino. As an alternative to enjoying Connecticut slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Connecticut is bordered by, to the north, Massachusetts, to the east, Rhode Island, and to the west, New York. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its 2-letter designation. For example, my Massachusetts slots article is available at professorslots.com/MA. Note that the highly anticipated opening of the MGM Springfield just across Connecticut's northern border in Springfield, Massachusetts, is expected on August 24, 2018. When I first wrote my weekly blog article on Connecticut slots earlier this year, the new MGM Springfield Casino was still a few days away from opening. At the time of this podcast recording, however, it has been open for nearly 3 months. The best information I am aware of for details on the MGM Springfield Casino is another podcast, where the hosts live in Springfield, and that's basically all they talk about. If you're interested in a deeply Springfield-specific gaming and entertainment podcast, take a listen to Art in the Game. Its host, Christopher DeMoro, knows a lot about the Springfield, Massachusetts community where the MGM Springfield Casino now resides. Maximum and minimum theoretical payout return limits are not legally defined in the negotiated tribal state compacts in Connecticut. However, the tribes are required to report actual payout return statistics to the state of Connecticut. The state of Connecticut provides payout return percentages by month, year, and casino on their gaming division website under Statistics for Tribal Casinos. These actual payout return statistics go back as far as 1993 for Foxwoods and 1996 for Mohegan Sun. Further, the American Casino Guide online entry for Connecticut offers annual, rather than monthly, payout return statistics for each casino. Moreover, the ACG also provides the actual payout return statistics for each denomination of slot machine, which they claim is provided by the Connecticut's Gaming Division. Maybe I'll be able to dig those out in a later article. In summary, Connecticut slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 2 American Indian casinos, Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. These tribal casinos are situated within a few miles of each other, located on their respective tribal reservations. The Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods casinos compete, always striving to be best by constantly upgrading their facilities. This ongoing competition is to the great advantage of their patrons, as well as resulting in a worldwide reputation. 2 other casinos are planned, including a soon-to-be-open large casino complex in Springfield, Massachusetts, as well as a state-approved but smaller satellite tribal casino located not far away in East Windsor in northern Connecticut. Over the last year, Foxwoods Casino has fallen from its former position as the second-largest casino in the world. It is now ranked to be about 5th place, after the opening of several other casinos, including those newly opened in Oklahoma. Otherwise, some progress has been made towards opening a satellite tribal casino in East Windsor. This casino, to be operated jointly by both of Connecticut's federally recognized tribes, is an attempt to offer gambling to nearby residents prior to an out-of-state casino being opened just across the state border in Massachusetts. Again, a lot of this is competition. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Sometimes I offer a brief programming note. This time, I wanted to offer my sincerest apologies for how long it's been since I've last released a podcast episode. Just under a month. Frankly, it has been something of an extraordinary summer. There's no need to get into the gory details, and everything is more or less fine. But there's just been a lot of various and ongoing family and day job issues. As I'd mentioned earlier this year, well, sometimes life happens. Thanks for your indulgence and patience for this quick update. Now let's get on with closing out this episode. Part 1 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will be another question and answer session. I'm working on a blog article about whether or not, or rather if and how, my slot strategies can be applied to video poker machines. Or maybe it'll be your question. Better hurry up, though, as I plan on turning out several more episodes by the end of this year. To ask a question, which might end up as a blog article or on a podcast episode, email it to john@professorslots.com, where John is spelled Jon, or by calling 937-696-0086 to leave a 3-minute or less voicemail. Casino trip reports about slots are also appreciated. Part 2 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast are more brief overviews of the current state of gambling in 2 U.S. states, territories, or federal district. Next time, I'll be talking to you about the great U.S. state of Delaware. in the great U.S. Federal District of Columbia, also known as Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Show notes for this episode are now available within most podcast apps, but are also available on my website at professorslots.com/E41. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.